Yes, hello everyone. Yes, somebody please ping me if I'm audible so that I can start the session. Yes, guys. Good evening, Ashok. Good evening, Urmila. Good evening, Kiruba. Yes, guys, somebody please ping me. Good evening, Rituparna. Good evening, Madhu. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Unacademy, India's largest online learning platform. Let's crack UPSC CSE English. Now, before I start the session, let me introduce myself for the people who are new on the platform. My name is Alok Ojha. I have done my engineering from Pune. I have been associated with the field of UPSC since past 7 years. I hold the experience of teaching for past 5 years, and basically I've mentored more than 10,000 students. I have been through various stages of civil services exam. I also hold the experience of giving CDS SSB twice. I also hold the experience of exam like CAPF Assistant Commandant and Uttar Pradesh PSC. Now, before I start with a very important and dynamic topic today, that is Ghurid Empire and Slave Dynasty Part 1, let us talk about the platform. There might be a question in the mind of an aspirant why one should prefer Unacademy as a platform for online learning. So here are the ample of reasons why one should prefer Unacademy as a platform for online learning. First of all, you'll have daily life classes on the Unacademy platform. Unacademy offers you assimilation of top and dynamic educators of India on a single platform. You can directly interact with the educators. You can clear all sorts of doubts with the educators. Second most important aspect, Unacademy helps to build up your competence by going through live tests and quizzes. Third most important aspect, all the courses on Unacademy platform are highly structured in nature, and there is a proper timetable through which these courses are being conducted. And finally, one can have unlimited access to the courses on Unacademy platform. Here are the few top and dynamic educators of India from whom you are going to learn through. These are the courses being offered on the Unacademy platform. Subscribe to Unacademy and use my code AKOUS. I repeat the code AKOUS. Now there is also something called as iconic subscription. Now what is basically iconic subscription all about? Now during the initial days, the preparation is completely haphazard in manner. And basically there is no proper strategy that is being followed. So there would be a proper mentor who would be guiding you throughout your journey for civil services preparation. Right from basically answer writing techniques to framing the answer to how to correlate the various GS paper, what should be read for the current affairs, which sources should be preferred for the current affairs, and so on. So if you choose me as your mentor, please use my code AKOUS. I repeat the code AKOUS. Yes. Hello, Jayashri. Good evening, Kajal. Good evening, Vaishali. Good evening, Monisha. It's okay, Saurabh. It's okay. Hope so. Your university exams were quite good. Good evening, Shashank. Good evening, Kajal. Okay, guys. So, yes, guys. Who was the first Muslim invader of India? Yes, guys. Good evening, Jenny. Good evening, Ajit. Good evening, Sai. Who was the first Muslim invader of India? Yes, guys. A sort of revision. Okay, very good. Yes. Then, who was the second Muslim invader of India? Yes, guys. Okay. Yes. Ali was succeeded by whom as caliph? Ali was succeeded by whom as caliph? If you remember, yesterday we have discussed everything in quite detail. Okay, so let's get started with another important dynasty, which is also referred as Ghurid Dynasty or Ghurid Empire. Now, it is said that Muhammad bin Qasim was the first Muslim invader of India. He was followed by Mahmud of Ghazni. But major role that Mahmud of Ghazni played was in plundering India. He never had any intention to establish a permanent settlement in India, to establish a permanent kingdom in India. The only intention of Mahmud of Ghazni was to plunder India, and he carried out approximately around 17 raids in India. And the most important raid that was carried by him was the raid at Somnath temple. The Somnath temple was again being reconstructed by a Chalukyan dynasty ruler whose name was Bhima I. Now it is said that basically there was rise of Ghurid Empire. Now listen to me very carefully. What is about Ghurid dynasty? If you remember about Mahmud of Ghazni, I have told you previously that basically like during his last days, Mahmud of Ghazni divided his kingdom basically between his two sons. Okay, so he divided the kingdom between his two sons. But later on, that kingdom was being overpowered by Seljuk Empire. In very simple words, the kingdom of Mahmud of Ghazni was being taken by Seljuk Empire. Now, with the passage of time, there was a drastic change in the Central Asia. And what happened here basically? It is said that by now there were two major powers that came in the Central Asia. One was Khwarizmi Empire, and the other was basically what we say Ghurid Empire or Ghurid Dynasty. Khwarizmi Empire came into power in the region of Iran, and Ghurid Dynasty or Ghurid Empire came into power in the region of Ghor. Ghor is located in northwest Afghanistan. Now, both wanted to acquire more power in the region of Central Asia. Both wanted to acquire a strong hold in the region of Central Asia. But what happened? Khwarizmi Empire proved to be more powerful than Ghurid Empire. Okay? Now it is said that basically the Khorasan basically means Central Asia, or sorry, Khorasan basically means Western Asia. It was a bone of contention between Khwarizmi Empire, which was ruling in Iran, and Ghurid Empire, which was ruling in Ghor, that is in northwest part of Afghanistan. Both wanted to acquire Western Asia. But as I have told you, Khwarizmi Empire was much more powerful than Ghurid Empire. And Khwarizmi Empire of Iran acquired the region of Western Asia as well. And Ghurid Empire was just confined to Afghanistan. Now, the only option left with Ghurid Empire was India. Okay? Because by now, basically, this person, Muhammad Ghori, he is called as the real consolidator of Muslim power in India. He is called as the real founder of Turkish Empire in India. The reason behind that, prior to him, there was Muhammad bin Qasim, there was Mahmud of Ghazni, but their intention, their aim was to plunder India. Their intention was never to make India their home. And Muhammad Ghori had intention to establish a permanent kingdom in the region of India. He was also attracted by the wealth of India, but now he wanted to follow the policy of imperialism. He wanted to expand his kingdom and basically settle in the region of India. Okay? Did you get the point still here? Please let me know. Yes, Pratiksha, I'll post the PDF of second part. Did you get the point still here? I'll repeat the points again. In the Central Asia, there were two powers that rose by now. One was Khwarizmi Empire in the region of Iran. Other was Ghurid Empire, which was ruling in northwestern Afghanistan. And both of them wanted to acquire the region of Central Asia and Western Asia. But Khwarizmi Empire was more powerful in comparison to Ghurid Empire. Now, Ghurid Empire had only one option left, that is conquering India. By now, many of the weakness of India have been exposed by Mahmud of Ghazni. And basically, Muhammad Ghur or Muhammad Ghori was quite aware about the social, political, religious, and environmental conditions of India. That is why he now focused on India and he wanted to conquer India and plunder India. Apart from plundering India, he wanted to establish permanent kingdom in India. Okay? Now, as I have told you, basically, Ghurid Empire was ruling in Afghanistan. Now, basically, Muhammad Ghori, there were two brothers. One was Muhammad Ghori and the other was Qutb-ud-din. Now, Muhammad Ghori acquired the region around Ghazni and Qutb-ud-din, the elder brother of Muhammad Ghori, was given the region of Ghor. And now basically Muhammad Ghor had the intention of conquering India. As I have told you, he was quite aware about the social, political, economical and religious condition of India. He was also aware about the military weakness of India and when to attack India. If you remember yesterday's session, I told you one simple example. Like Mahmud of Ghazni very strategically came in India. He never attacked India during the winter season or during the monsoon season. He attacked basically India during the summer season because the Arab soldiers or the Turkish soldiers were quite used to the environmental conditions of desert, and the Indian soldiers were not used to or were not accustomed to such type of environment. That is why Mahmud of Ghazni attacked India majorly during the summer. And during the initial days, Muhammad Ghori followed the same strategy. Second major thing, I have told you in Mahmud of Ghazni that he acquired the region of Ghazni, and after acquiring the region of Ghazni, he wanted to improve the administration in that region. And for improving the administration in that region, he required money. He required resources. So what did he do basically? That is why the reason was he started plundering the regions around basically Ghazni. And one of the region was India. But Muhammad Ghori's intention, apart from plundering India, was to establish permanent Turkish Sultanate in India. Okay? Now, let us understand how Muhammad Ghori entered into India and what strategy basically he used in acquiring places in India. Now, it is said that initially he conquered the region of Multan. Now, after the initial raid in the Multan was quite successful, and Bhati Rajput were ruling over the region of Upper Sindh. So initially he conquered Multan, then he moved to the upper part of Sindh, which was ruled by Bhati Rajput, and very easily he conquered the region of Upper Sindh. Now he concentrated directly towards the region of Gujarat because he had already heard about the immense wealth that was possessed in the region around Somnath, because this region was being plundered by whom? Mahmud of Ghazni. So he had heard about it. So without any proper base, without any proper planning, without any proper strategy, he directly attacked Gujarat. And by now, another ruler, Bhim II, there was a battle between ruler Bhim II of Solanki dynasty and Muhammad Ghori, which is referred as Battle of Kayadara. And in this battle, Muhammad Ghori lost the battle. Because I've told you, there is no proper base, there is no proper planning, there is no proper strategy. So he lost the battle. But he was not discouraged. Now he realized one thing. Like, I have to prepare a proper base here, and then I can carry on my expeditions in India. If you remember Mahmud of Ghazni, my friends, okay, I've told you one aspect. He conquered region of Multan, then he conquered certain regions of Sindh, then he moved to the regions of Kannauj, Haneshwar, Mathura, and then he came to Somnath. So initially he prepared a base in the northern part of India. Now, Muhammad Ghori realized his mistake and he believed that he first needs to create a base in the region of northern part of India. And now he conquered the region of Punjab, Sindh, Lahore, and certain areas of northern part of India. Now, he wanted to acquire the region of Gangetic Valley. He wanted to acquire the Gangetic Doab. And now, for the first time, he came up in conflict with one of the most courageous leader, one of the most exemplary leader, that is basically Prithviraj Chauhan ji. And now it is said that a fierce battle was fought between basically Muhammad Ghori and Prithviraj Chauhan. Now, what was the reason for the battle? Let us understand. I've told you Muhammad Ghori wanted to acquired the region of northern India and he created a base there. Now he wanted to conquer the region of Gangetic Valley. He wanted to conquer the region of Gangetic or Ganga Doab. Okay? Now just listen to me. Okay, just pay attention properly. Suppose this is river Ganga. On the upper side of the river Ganga was kingdom of Muhammad Ghori. And on the lower side of the river Ganga was a kingdom of one of the most important leaders of the Rajputs, that is Prithviraj Chauhan ji. Now, basically, there was a region in the Punjab which is referred as which is referred as Tabar Hind, which in very simple language, which is referred as Bhatinda. Now, both Muhammad Ghori and Prithviraj Chauhan ji wanted to capture the region of Bhatinda. Now, what happened basically? Muhammad Ghori came up with his forces, Prithviraj Chauhan ji came up with his forces, and there was a fierce battle fought between them, which is referred as First Battle of Tarain. Tarain is located near Haryana, to be very specific, Karnal district of Haryana, and a fierce battle was fought. Now it is said that basically he was drastically defeated and he survived his life. He had a very narrow escape and Muhammad Ghori escaped from this region. Now, basically Prithviraj Chauhan ji did not garrison this area. What is garrison? He did not appoint any governor for the region of Bhatinda. He did not appoint any military garrison for that. Okay. Now it was said that this came under the Rajputs, but there was no proper military garrisoning of this region. And now again, basically, Muhammad Ghori got this as an opportunity. Like if Prithviraj Chauhan ji had captured this region, he could have what we say appointed a military governor. He could have appointed few soldiers to take care of the territory of Bhatinda. But Prithviraj Chauhan ji did not do this. Now, this was seen as an opportunity by Muhammad Ghori. And Muhammad Ghori again planned an attack in this region. And there was a fierce battle fought between Muhammad Ghori and Prithviraj Chauhan ji. And this is referred as Second Battle of Tarain. And in this battle, Prithviraj Chauhan ji lost the battle. Now, there were few reasons why he lost the battle. First thing, the army of Prithviraj Chauhan ji had majorly elephants in it. And the army or the cavalry, or basically Muhammad Ghori majorly used cavalry. Okay? He majorly used cavalry. And cavalry always have an edge over the elephant. Why? Because horses are quite swift moving. They move at a very faster pace. And this gave him a very good edge. Secondly, Prithviraj Chauhan had iron stirrup. What is iron stirrup? You might have seen a horse, and on the horse you might have seen that at the lower part you will see horse rider has basically, he can adjust his foot at a particular place on the horse. That is called a stirrup. And what is the what we say advantage of that stirrup? That person can easily fight in all the direction because his body becomes quite flexible because he has adjusted his foot into that stirrup and now he can fight in all the direction. And this was used by whom? Muhammad Ghori. Now it is said that Prithviraj Chauhan ji, he escaped from there and now he was now he was again caught at a place called as Saraswati. But later on, he was released and he was given a place of Ajmer. Okay. But few days later, with this person, Muhammad Ghori felt that Prithviraj Chauhan ji might be conspiring against Muhammad Ghori. So Prithviraj Chauhan ji, one of the most dynamic leaders of India, was being executed. By whom? Muhammad Ghori. Now it is said that again in 1194 AD, there was a battle between Jayachandra Okay, he was a ruler of Garhwal dynasty. Okay, in very simple words, Garhwal dynasty was ruling in the region of Kannauj. And basically, the leader or the ruler of Garhwal dynasty at that time was Jayachandra. And there was a battle being fought between Jayachandra and basically Muhammad Ghori. And Jayachandra lost the battle. Two major battles decided the fate of Muhammad Ghori in India. One was Battle of Tarain and other was Battle of Chandawar. And with this, he established a Turkish empire in India. Now, it was quite long that he has came from Ghazni. As I have told you, the region of Ghur was given to his brother, and his brother was taking care of the administration of Ghur. And Muhammad Ghori was taking care of the administration of Ghazni. But now he was quite involved in what? He was involved in military expeditions. So what happened now? He wanted to go back to Ghazni. But if he is going back to Ghazni, now he had acquired many territories in India. Who is going to take care of that territories? So he appointed two loyal governors. And these two loyal governors were initially the slaves of Muhammad Ghori. One was Qutb-ud-din Aibak and other was Bhaktiar Khilji. So before going to Ghazni, he gave the administration of few regions in India to his two loyal slaves, to his two loyal governors. One was basically Qutb-ud-din Aibak and the other was Bhaktiar Khilji. Okay, so I'll repeat the points again in short. Please pay attention properly. Muhammad Ghori, just listen to me patiently. All your doubts would be cleared. Just listen to me patiently. Muhammad Ghori first acquired the region of Multan, then he acquired the region of Upper Sindh, then he directly moved towards Gujarat. But in Gujarat, he was defeated by Bhim II, Solanki dynasty ruler. Now he realized his mistake that first of all, he needs to create a base in the northern part of India. So he conquered the region of Punjab, Lahore, and so on in the northern part of India. Now he wanted to conquer the region of Ganges Valley. Now the upper part of Ganges Valley was under the control of Muhammad Ghori and the lower part was under control of Prithviraj Chauhanji. Now basically there was a fierce battle which is referred as Battle of Tarain. In the first Battle of Tarain, Muhammad Ghori was defeated. In the second Battle of Tarain, Prithviraj Chauhanji was defeated. Now later on, basically Kannauj was also acquired by defeating the ruler Jayachandra. Now to take care of the administration of Ghazni, he wanted to go back to the region of Ghazni. But before going back to the region of Ghazni, it was decided that the administration basically of the newly acquired territories in India should be given to some of the able rulers, some of the able governor. So he appointed two able governor who were his slaves as well. One was what we say Qutb-ud-din Aibak and the other was Bhaktiar Khilji. Now listen to me. What happened? Now it is said that basically that both of them were very loyal towards Muhammad Ghori. Now this person, Qutb-ud-din Aibak, focused in the northern and northwestern part of India, and Bhaktiar Khilji focused in the eastern part of India. Like Qutb-ud-din Aibak acquired the region of Aligarh, he acquired the region of Ranthambore, and then he again had the intention of acquiring the region of Gujarat. Like initially Muhammad Ghori had tried conquering Gujarat, but he was unsuccessful in his attempt. But now Qutb-ud-din Aibak again wanted to conquer the region of Gujarat. And again for the second time, Qutb-ud-din Aibak was also unsuccessful in conquering the region of Gujarat. So he conquered the region of Aligarh and Ranthambore. Now another person, Bhaktiar Khilji, he conquered the region of Bihar. He conquered the region of basically Bengal. And he destroyed the universities famous in this region. That is Nalanda University and basically this Vikramshila University. We usually have a practice of rote memorization of the thing. Isn't that so? We memorize that. Who was the destroyer of Nalanda University? It was Bakhtiyar Khilji. Who was a destroyer of Vikramshila University? It was Bakhtiyar Khilji. We memorize this. But as I've told you in the format of a story, you will never forget this. Okay? So, Qutb-ud-din Aibak focused in the northwestern part of India, northern part of India, and Bakhtiyar Khilji focused in the Bihar and Bengal region, that is in the eastern part of India. Now, there was revolt in the region of Punjab. Okay, and the Khukar tribe, basically in the Punjab, have revolted against the what we say Qutb-ud-din Aibak. Now, both Qutb-ud-din Aibak and Bakhtiyar Khilji both were unable to suppress the revolt. And now Muhammad Ghori again had to come to India from Ghazni to suppress the revolt. And Muhammad Ghori came to India, he suppressed the revolt, and he was going back to his country, Ghazni. Now, on the way, it is said that he was being killed by someone. I have used the word someone because there might be a probable conspiracy behind this. Okay, like few historians says that basically he might be killed by his one of the loyal slave whose name was Qutb-ud-din Aibak. So when he was going for the second time to Ghazni, he was killed on the way by someone. Okay, and located basically in Sohawa Tehsil, which is in Jhelum district of Punjab, which is located in present day Pakistan. And now basically there was establishment of another important dynasty in India, which is referred as slave dynasty. And slave dynasty was founded by one of the loyal governors of Muhammad Ghori, whose name was Qutb-ud-din Aibak. So my friends, did you understand Muhammad Ghori? Please let me know. Yes, thanks Monisha. Yes guys, did you understand the story? Yes, please let me know. Okay. Now let us understand, there can be a probable question in the mains that what were the causes basically for success of Muhammad Ghori and failure of Indian rulers at that time. Now let us understand this. Now one of the most important aspect of the failure was like this, there was lack of political unity among the Indian rulers, and there was lot of squabbling, there was lot of internal squabbling, there was lot of internal fighting within the Indian rulers. They were not united against the what we say invaders, early invaders. Okay. And basically Muhammad Ghori took this as an opportunity. First thing. See, although Indian rulers were great warriors, they were very great warriors, they were expert in all sort of warfare techniques, but they had a lot of clannish spirit among them. Okay. Like basically rather than thinking for the entire India, they thought for their own kingdom. They thought for their own clan. So there was a lot of clannish spirit among the Indian rulers. And basically this was seen by Muhammad Ghori as an opportunity. Getting the points clear? Because if there is an internal squabbling within the kingdoms of India, the another person will see this as an opportunity and conquer the regions. Okay. Second major aspect. Now, although our Indian rulers, okay, they were ambitious rulers. They followed the policy of imperialism, but they were not that ambitious in comparison to the early invaders. Okay, like they were very satisfied with what they had. Secondly, now they were expert in all sorts of warfare technique, but they were not focusing more on improvement in the military strategy. Like basically Muhammad Ghori, he came up with horse stirrups, he came up with horse hooves. Now, what is horse hooves? You might have seen horseshoes. This makes the movement of horse quite swift and in a very peaceful manner. Okay, and it gives protection to the foot of the horse. This gives an additional opportunity, an additional edge to the invaders. So they used a military strategy here. And our rulers initially did not use a military strategy. Like we followed a single strategy, and strategy should always be defined by exigencies of time and circumstances. It completely depends upon the circumstances. Isn't that so? Like for example, we have seen this year's prelims paper. If we follow the same traditional strategy, will it work? Obviously, no. We need to follow very different strategy. We need to be dynamic in that case. Similarly, we here basically military strategies, like our rulers had divided their army into three parts: right, left, and center part. But the early invaders, like I'll give you a very small example. When Muhammad Ghori came in India, he also followed the same strategy. Okay, I have told you he acquired the region of Multan, then he acquired the region of Upper Sindh, then he, tried an expedition in Gujarat, but this was quite unsuccessful. And then he moved to the northern part of India. When he moved to the northern part of India, he came up with a new military strategy. And what was that? His army was now divided into five parts: right, left, center, advance, and reserve. Okay, there was one force on the right of the king. There was other force or another unit of the army on the left side of the king. To encircle the king or to protect the king, there was army in the center. There was army in the front, and there was army at the back, which is referred as reserve army. And what is the use of reserve army? Suppose if any particular unit of the army, if the number of soldiers are declining or if they are dying, what will happen? They would be replaced by the reserve army. So what will happen? There is a continuous movement of soldiers. So this was being followed by the early invaders. Okay. Now, our rulers majorly focused on what? They focused on elephants. Okay. Now, sometimes elephant is an asset and sometimes it becomes a liability. How? Now, what happened basically? Now they used elephants and the early invaders used horses. And horses are quite swift moving. They move at a very higher pace. And sometimes on the battlefield, a chaotic condition has been created. A sort of confusion is created. And when a sort of confusion is created, what happens? Sometimes these elephants used to get angry. And rather than killing the enemy, rather than killing the opponents, these elephants will tremble down whom? Their own men. So rather than an asset, they will act as a liability. So there should be more focus on the horses rather than the elephants. And another major aspect here, war should be seen as war. A very, very simple statement. Everything is fair in war. Okay? War should not be seen as a tournament. See, skill is required, courage is required, bravery is required, but along with that, strategy is also being required. And your only clear intention should be to smash the enemy. Okay? And this was basically being used by whom? Muhammad Ghori. His only intention was victory by hook or crook. Okay? Then there was a historian, basically it is said that, whose name was Dr. Ishwari Prasad. Now, as per the historian Ishwari Prasad, he said one thing, like our soldiers were divided into different caste and creed, and this created what? This created a sort of disunity. And the soldiers of Muhammad Ghori belonged to one particular religion. So this created a sort of unity. This created a sort of consolidatory force. Okay, because our soldiers were divided into various groups. And another important aspect was a slave system that was being followed by the early invaders. Now, these slaves were very loyal to their masters. Now, these masters also gave these slaves a very high position. Okay, for example, if a slave has served very loyally to the master, that slave would be made a governor of a particular province or a district. So, with the help of slaves, the master can acquire more kingdom and bring more kingdoms or bring more territories into his fold. In very simple words, easily he can expand his empire. And for slave, it was seen as an opportunity to rise from the level of slave to the level of governor. In very simple words, we have just discussed now. Like Muhammad Ghori had two slaves. Bakhtiyar Khilji and Qutb-ud-din Aibak. Now, both of them were made responsible for the possessions of Muhammad Ghori in India. This simply exemplifies the relation between the slave and the master. So, this strategy proved very useful to the early Muslim invaders in India. Hope so. The points are clear, my friends, about Muhammad Ghori. Any query, any question, any sort of doubt? Yes, guys. Was Muhammad Ghori interesting? Did you learn something new? Yes, guys. Okay. Now, Monisha, Muhammad Ghazni means Muhammad Ghori. Why is called as Muhammad Ghazni? Because he ruled in the region of Ghazni. Both are same. Okay. Yes, Shubham. Perfect. Now, let's understand about Qutb-ud-din Aibak. Okay. Now we'll study with the Delhi Sultanate. And now we are going to study various dynasties like Slave Dynasty, Khilji Dynasty, Tughlaq Dynasty, Lodi Dynasty, Sayyid Dynasty, and so on. So all these are the dynasties of Delhi Sultanate. And we are going to study the important rulers of each and every dynasty. Okay. Now, if you remember, guys, I have just discussed Muhammad Ghori, like there was a revolt of Khokhar tribe that is basically in the region of Punjab. And Muhammad Ghori came to India, specifically in the region of Punjab, to suppress the revolt of this tribe. What happened basically? He had to go back to Ghazni. Now, when he was going back to Ghazni, some unidentified person killed him. Okay. Now it is said that after him, okay, his slave was Qutb-ud-din Aibak, and Qutb-ud-din Aibak declared himself independent and founded slave dynasty, which is referred as and founded an independent dynasty, which is referred as slave dynasty. Now, let us understand a background of Qutb-ud-din Aibak. Okay. Qutb, like this person, Qutb-ud-din Aibak was born in a place called as Turkestan. And Qutb basically means, it is a Urdu word. It basically means Lord of Moon. Now it is said that when he was small, when he was merely a boy, he was sold basically to a merchant at a place called as Nishapur, which is in Persia. When he was very small, he was sold as a slave to a merchant. Okay. Now, this merchant sold this boy to a Qazi as a slave. Now, this Qazi, although this person, Qutb, was a slave, this Qazi gave him religious training. He gave him military training along with his son. Now, after the death of that Qazi, his sons, the son of the Qazi, sold him as a slave to what we say Muhammad Ghori. Did you get the points clear? I'll repeat the point again. When he was quite small, when he was a boy, basically, it is said that when he was a boy, he was sold to whom? He was sold to a Qazi. Now, Qazi gave him a religious and military training along with his son. But when the Qazi died, the sons of the Qazi sold this boy to whom? They sold him to Muhammad Ghori. And Muhammad Ghori purchased him as a slave. Now he served very loyally to Muhammad Ghori. And now it is said that he served in a very faithful manner to his master. And impressed by his loyalty, he was appointed as a commander of a particular section of the army. Few days later or few years later, he was appointed as Amir-e-Akhur. I repeat, very, very important terminology. There can be a probable question in the examination with this terminology. Initially, he was appointed as a commander-in-chief of a particular section of the army. Then he was appointed as Amir-e-Akhur, that is master of stable. In very simple word, he used to take care of the horses. He used to take care of the cavalry department. Okay. And now it is said that he played a very exemplary role by serving to his master in his Indian expedition. Like during the first battle of Tarain, during the second battle of Tarain, Muhammad Ghori was being supported by Qutb-ud-din Aibak. Then even after when Muhammad Ghori went back to his country at Ghazni and he left the administration in the hand of Aibak, Aibak expanded the kingdom by adding on Aligarh and Ranthambore. So he served in a very faithful manner, in a very loyal manner to Muhammad Ghori. Now, as I've told you, the Khokhar tribe revolted in the region of Punjab, and Qutb-ud-din Aibak and Bakhtiyar Khilji both were unable to suppress the revolt. Now, Muhammad Ghori had to come to India again. And when Muhammad Ghori came to India, basically, and when he was going back again to Ghazni, he was killed on the way by someone. Now, Muhammad Ghori did not had any male heir to succeed. Okay, he did not had any successor. He did not had any sort of male successor. Now, every governor, like Muhammad Ghori, had lot many territories, and there were governors of respective territories. Like Bakhtiyar Khilji was governor of a particular place. Qutb-ud-din Aibak was a governor at a particular place. Taj-ud-din Yalduz was governor or ruler of Ghazni, or he was taking care of the administration of in the region of Ghazni. Everyone proclaimed himself as the ruler. Everyone proclaimed himself as the king. Okay. Now, there was a very chaotic situation. And rather than saying chaotic situation, it was also an opportunity for Qutb-ud-din Aibak. How? In the initial days, he will keep quiet because everyone is proclaiming himself as the Sultan. Everyone is proclaiming himself as the king. And so they are going to fight with each other. When they are going to fight with each other, there would be loss of men and material. And very few people will be left. Then they would be overthrown by whom? Qutb-ud-din Aibak. Now there was one more person. If you remember in Muhammad Ghori, I have discussed that ruler of Kannauj of Garhwal dynasty was Jayachandra. Okay. And Jayachandra was defeated. Now to take the revenge of Jayachandra, now there was another person, Harishchandra. He has driven out the Turks basically from the region of Badayu and Farrukhabad. And there was complete chaotic situation. And Aibak saw this as an opportunity. He very easily suppressed the governors in India. He easily suppressed the governor in the region of Ghazni and completely disconnected himself from the Ghazni. Why? Because in comparison to the region of Afghanistan, more number of territories were acquired in India. Okay. Now there were more territory in India in comparison to Afghanistan. So he completely disconnected himself from the Afghanistan and declared himself as the Sultan by declaring himself as independent. And there was establishment of a new dynasty which is referred as slave dynasty in India. And Qutb-ud-din Aibak was the founder of slave dynasty. Okay, getting the points clear? Now, it is said that he assumed the title of Sultan and made Lahore his capital. Okay. Pabati, his brother, was ruling in the region of Afghanistan itself. Okay. Now let us understand about Qutb-ud-din Aibak. He made Lahore his capital. He did not issue any sort of coins. And there are specific questions in the exam. Who issued this coin? Who issued this coin? Okay. Qutb-ud-din Aibak initially did not issue any sort of coin. He is also referred as Lakh Baksh. Lakh Baksh means he used to help out the people. Okay. He used to help out the people a lot. Anybody who came to his place, anybody who came to his palace never went empty handed. He was considered as a charitable person. That is why he is referred as Lakh Baksh. Now, he also, he built the first mosque in India. which is located at Delhi, which is called as Quwwatul Islam Mosque. He also built Adhai Din Ka Jhopda, which is located at Ajmer. And it was basically a Sanskrit college initially. Okay, but later on, instead of Sanskrit college, basically Adhai Din Ka Jhopda was constructed at Ajmer. By whom? Qutb-ud-din Aibak. He started the construction of Qutub Minar. Please do not get confused. He initiated the construction of Qutub Minar, and only one floor was constructed by him. Only one story was constructed by him. And Qutub Minar was in the memory of a Sufi saint whose name was Qutb-ud-din Taki. Okay, so what all things you need to remember? He constructed the first mosque, okay, at Delhi. That is Quwwatul Islam Mosque. He constructed Adhai Din Ka Jhopda at Ajmer. He initiated the construction of Qutub Minar. That is, only the first floor, only the first story was being constructed. Okay. Then he patronized great historians like Hassan Nizami. And Hassan Nizami wrote books like Taj ul Masir and Tarikh-e-Mubarak Shahi. And in both the books, basically, story of Qutb-ud-din Aibak and the foundation of slave dynasty has been mentioned. Like how Qutb-ud-din acquired the throne, how he suppressed his rival, how he served loyally to his master, and finally declared himself independent and established slave dynasty. Everything has been mentioned by Hassan Nizami in his book Taj ul Masir and Tarikh-e-Mubarak Shahi. Hassan Nizami also said that he was like it is said that everyone will get justice in his court. He never ruled in a very abrupt manner. Okay, he ruled in a very systematic, in a very methodological manner. And it is said that once he was playing Chaughan, that is polo, and he fell from the horse and he died. And his tomb is located at Anarkali Bazaar, which is in Lahore, Pakistan. So this is majorly about Qutb-ud-din Aibak. Did you get the points clear? Please let me know, my friends. Yes, hi Jabed. Yes, guys. Yes, guys. A lot to remember. Medieval India. See, guys, I was just when I was preparing the notes for the medieval India. Okay, uh, like I will tell you exactly when I will take a test of medieval India. Approximately, I'm telling you. Okay, there are more than 400 terminologies. Okay, small, big. There are more than 400 terminologies that we are going to go through. Okay. Yes, guys, did you get the story? We'll use a pattern of story so that it becomes quite easier to remember. Okay. Yes, Gunjan, Khilji, that is Bakhtiyar Khilji, was also being suppressed. Every governor was being suppressed in a very systematic and methodological manner. Okay. Yes, Aditi, Muhammad of Ghazni and Mahmud of Ghazni are different. Muhammad Ghori and Muhammad Ghazni are same. Okay, Aditi. Now, let us understand about Aram Shah. Okay. Now, just remember one thing about it. Okay. Aram means relax. Just remember in that way. Okay. So he was not that very successful ruler because he was not that capable ruler. Now, as per, see, now few historians say that Qutb-ud-din Aibak was succeeded by his son Aram Shah. Okay. Few historians say this. But few historians like Minhas Hus Siraj say that Qutb-ud-din Aibak had no son. He had three daughters. And another historian whose name was Abul Fazl, he said that Aram Shah was Aibak's brother. Okay, like few historians say that Qutb-ud-din Aibak was succeeded by his son whose name was Aram Shah. Then few historians like Minhas Us Siraj, he said that Qutb-ud-din had no son. He had three daughters. Then Abul Fazl, he said that Aram Shah was Aibak's brother. Okay, now still Aram Shah was succeeded, but Aram Shah was a very incapable ruler. He was not able to carry out the administration in a very smooth manner. He was not able to carry out the administration in a very proper way. So the Turkish nobles were fed up by his policies of the administration. And now they invited governor of Badaयूं. Okay. And who was the governor of Badaयूं? Iltutmish. And Iltutmish was son-in-law of Qutb-ud-din Aibak. Okay. I've told you Qutb-ud-din Aibak had three daughters. And Iltutmish, initially he was a slave of whom? Initially he was a slave of Qutb-ud-din Aibak. And later on, Iltutmish was married to one of the daughters of Qutb-ud-din Aibak. Okay, and now he was made as a governor of Badaयूं, which is located in Uttar Pradesh. Now he was a very capable ruler. He carried out the administration in a very efficient manner. And now the Turkish nobles invited him to acquire the position as a sultan, to become the new king. Now basically he came into Delhi, he deposed Aram Shah and became the sultan in the name of Shamshuddin. So Iltutmish is also referred as Shamshuddin. Yes guys, did you get the points clear? Yes, Monisha. Ghazni is the name of a place, and the person who was ruling in that place, his name was Muhammad Ghori. That is why he is also referred as Muhammad Ghazni. Okay? Okay, Sai. We'll go a bit slow. Yes, guys. Yes, Jabir, the class time every day is around 7 to 7:30. Okay. Now let us understand about Iltutmish. Now, Iltutmish literally means maintainer of the kingdom. And why this dynasty is referred as slave dynasty? Because these rulers were initially the slaves of the previous rulers. Okay. And since basically it is said that Qutb-ud-din Aibak was slave of Muhammad Ghori, and he was the founder of this dynasty. That is why it is referred as slave dynasty. Now let us understand about Iltutmish. Okay. Now he was also a slave. Initially, when he was small, when he was a boy, he was sold as a slave. Okay. Then basically he was purchased by Qutb-ud-din Aibak as a slave. And this person, Iltutmish, served very loyally to Qutb-ud-din Aibak. And when basically he served in a very loyal manner to Qutb-ud-din Aibak, he was given the position of Sar-e-Jandar. I repeat, he was given the position of Sar-e-Jandar. That is simply means head of the royal guards. Like royal guards basically means there are particular personal guards of the king or the sultan. They are referred as royal guard. So he was made the head of the head of them. So he was given the title of Sar-e-Jandar. Later on, it is said that he served very loyally to Aibak and he was made as governor of Badaयूं. Aibak had three daughters and he was married to one of the daughters of Qutb-ud-din Aibak. Okay, and it is said that since this person belonged to Ilbari tribe, okay, so slave dynasty during the tenure or during the period of Iltutmish was also referred as Ilbari dynasty. Why it was referred as Ilbari dynasty? Because this person, Iltutmish, belonged to Ilbari tribe. That is why at this particular period, at this particular time, what we say slave dynasty was also referred as Ilbari dynasty. Similar like Qutb-ud-din Aibak, there was a lot of chaotic situation. Now, what happened? Many of the rulers started basically declaring themselves, or many of the governors started declaring themselves as independent. Okay, if you remember one person called as Yalduz, who was ruling in the region of Ghazni, he was suppressed by Qutb-ud-din Aibak. He again started a revolt. Okay, then there was a person who was ruling in the region, governor of Bihar and Bengal. He was Ali Mardan. He also rose in the revolt against him. Then, what we say, there was chief of Jalor and Ranthambore. They also declared themselves independent. So there was a very chaotic situation. And there was a rise of another person whose name was Changiz Khan. Okay. And Changiz Khan followed a very expansionist policy. Okay. Now, what happened basically here? A sort of chaotic situation was created in front of Iltutmish. So during his initial days, he spent a lot of time in suppressing his enemies. He believed that first of all, I need to suppress the enemies and then focus on the administration. Because if I plan something new strategy, if I plan something new for the administration, obviously I'm going to face reverses from the side of the governors. They are going to revolt. So it is better to clear up this problem by suppressing them. Okay. So I'll repeat. Tajuddin Yalduz, he had revolted in the region of Afghanistan. Then Ali Mardan, he had revolted in the region of Bihar and Bengal. The what we say governors of Jalor and Ranthambore had declared themselves independent. Then Changiz Khan was following an imperialistic policy. He was conquering the various regions of Central Asia, and he also had an eye on India. But now, Iltutmish played a very systematic game. Okay, he could easily suppress whom? He could easily suppress the governors in India. He could easily suppress the nobles in India by following a systematic strategy. But Genghis Khan was a tyrant. He was one of the most powerful rulers at that time of the Central Asia. And it is very difficult to suppress him. So now, rather than fighting a battle with him, because if Iltutmish fights a battle with Genghis Khan, there will be a heavy loss of men and material. And in fact, there could be an end or death blow to slave dynasty in India. So now he chose a diplomatic way. Rather than fighting a battle with Genghis Khan, he played a very diplomatic game. Now, he suppressed all the other governor. One person was left, that is Genghis Khan. Now, what sort of diplomacy did he play? Listen to me. If you remember Ghurid Empire, just we have discussed about the Ghurid Empire. Like in the region of Western Asia and Central Asia, Ghurid Empire and Khwarezmi Empire were ruling. Okay? Khwarezmi Empire acquired the entire region of Western Asia and Central Asia. And then Ghurid Empire focused on India. Okay? Now what happened here? Khwarezmi Empire. Okay? Now it had a stronghold in the region of Central Asia. And this empire was being overthrown by whom? Genghis Khan. He had conquered the region of Central Asia and Western Asia. And now, the son of Shah of Khwarezmi Empire was Jalaluddin Mangbarani. Jalaluddin Mangbarani came to India and he seek asylum from Iltutmish. And Genghis Khan came to know about this, that Jalaluddin Mangbarani had went to Iltutmish to take asylum. Okay. Now basically it is said that Iltutmish played a very diplomatic game. He knew that if he gave Jalaluddin Mangbarani asylum, what will happen? Genghis Khan will become his enemy. And in the name of animosity, Genghis Khan will attack whom? Genghis Khan will attack the kingdom of Iltutmish. So at this point of time, being very diplomatic in nature, this person Iltutmish denied any asylum to whom? Jalaluddin Mangbarani. And now Genghis Khan felt that basically this person, Iltutmish, was supporting the imperialistic policy of Genghis Khan. That is why Genghis Khan did not conquer India during his time. Okay, so in a very diplomatic manner, in a very systematic manner, he saved India from the wrath of Genghis Khan. Okay. Now, yes, perfect, Dipesh. Now, listen to me. Now he did. Now, after suppressing the governor, after what we say tackling what we say Genghis Khan, he now focused his strategy completely on the administrative perspective. What he did, he divided the entire empire into small provinces. Oh, sorry, small jagir. And these were referred as ikta. Now, a person was appointed to take care of the administration of this ikta. Okay. Now, he is going to impose a tax. He is going to take care of the administration. Okay. He is going to collect the tax and so on. And since ICTA was being ruled by a particular person or the administration was being carried out by a particular person, he was referred as Iqtadar. Now, what will Iqtadar do? He will collect the tax. After collecting the revenue, whatever is his salary, he will keep this salary. And whatever surplus taxes are there, it would be given to the central administration. Okay? The entire empire was divided into small provinces, small jagirs, which are referred as ikta. The administration of ikta was being taken care by iktadar. He used to collect the tax. After collecting the tax, he used to keep his salary, and whatever extra or surplus amount was there, it was returned to the central administration. Okay? Now, Iqtadars were not hereditary and it was transferable. Now, transferable here, basically you can understand two things here. Now, first thing, if a person is unable to perform his administrative duty as an Iqtadar in a proper manner, his Iqtadari would be transferred to some other Iqtadar. First thing. Second thing, Iqtadars were also transferred. Why? Because to avoid the policy of corruption. Because if a person is holding the iqtadari of a particular region for a long duration, he will develop a policy of nepotism in that region. Okay. And so in that case, what will happen? Here, basically, it will give rise to corruption. And to contain that, it was transferable as well. Okay. Then, he played a very systematic role in creating a Chahalgani system. Please remember this system, very important system. He played a very dynamic and exemplary role in creation of Chahalgani system, which is also referred as Turkan-e-Chahalgani. What is Chahalgani system? He appointed 40 nobles who were very powerful noble, and these nobles assisted the Sultan in performance of his duty. Okay, these nobles assisted the Sultan in performance of his duty. Like for example, if a particular military expedition is to be carried on, so how much unit will be dispatched? What resources would be spent? It would be decided by Sultan on the advice of whom? These 40 nobles. And these 40 noble is referred as Turkan-e-Chahalgani or simply Chahalgani. Okay. Then he was the first to issue coins. He issued silver tanka and copper jital coins. If you remember, I have told you in Qutb-ud-din Aibak that Qutb-ud-din Aibak initiated the construction of Qutb Minar, but it was not completed. I had used the word initiated, not completed. He had just constructed one floor. Okay. Now this person, Iltutmish, he completed the construction of Qutb Minar at Delhi. It is approximately around 72.54 meter, 238 feet. Okay. Then he constructed Gandak Ki Bauli. Please remember all these things. He constructed Gandak Ki Bauli for a Sufi saint, Qutb-ud-din Bakhtiyar Kaki. Okay. He also constructed Hauz-e-Samshi, which is located near Mehrauli in Delhi. Okay. Then he is also referred by various titles. Please remember all those things. I'll repeat the points again, guys. He started Ikta system. Then he started the what we say system called as Turkan-e-Chahalgani or Chahalgani system. which simply means power of 40 nobles. Then he completed the construction of Qutb Minar. Then he constructed Hauz-e-Samshi. He constructed Gandak Ki Bauli for a Sufi saint Bhaktiyar Kaki. Okay. Then he is also referred as Hindgir. There can be a probable question, which among the following slave dynasty rulers was referred as Hindgir? So it was Iltutmish who was referred as Hindgir. It simply means conqueror of Hind. Okay, and he patronized basically Minhas-us-Siraj, one of the historians, and basically Minhas-us-Siraj wrote a book which completely defines, or what we say, it talks about the story of Iltutmish, how he came to power, how he suppressed the governors, how he saved the India from wrath of Genghis Khan. Everything has been mentioned in a book called as Tabakat-e-Nasiri. I repeat, Tabakat-e-Nasiri, which was written by an historian, Minhas-us-Siraj, who was patronized by whom? Iltutmish. Okay. Now it is said that none of the sons of Iltutmish were worthy of becoming the Sultan. And Iltutmish himself did not wanted any of his son to succeed, because everyone was unable, everyone was incompetent ruler. They cannot carry out the administration in a very smooth manner. Okay, so basically Iltutmish himself did not wanted any of his son to succeed him. In fact, he wanted his daughter Razia Sultana to succeed him. Okay, and finally, tomb of Iltutmish is located in Qutb Minar complex. This is all about Iltutmish. Yes, my friends, did you get the points clear? Please let me know. Yes, Dipesh, Rukn-ud-din Firoz Shah. Okay, now it is said that before Razia Sultana, for a short tenure, he was succeeded. Iltutmish was succeeded by his eldest son, whose name was Rukn-ud-din Firoz Shah. But Rukn-ud-din Firoz Shah, as I've told you earlier, every son of this person, Iltutmish, was incapable, was highly incompetent to carry out the administration. And this person was a very lavish spender. Rather than focusing on administration, he used to take a ride on the elephant, he used to distribute gold. Okay, and the entire administration was being taken care by one of his maid, whose name was Shah Turkan. He used to take care of the administration. And what this person used to do? He used to take what we say ride on the elephant. He used to distribute the golds basically and sponsored his lavish lifestyle. So basically, it is said that everyone was fed up of him. And now, one of the governors of Multan revolted against him, whose name was basically governor of Multan revolted against him. And to suppress that governor, Rukn-ud-din Firoz Shah moved towards Multan. And when he moved towards Multan, this was seen as an opportunity by Razia Sultana. And Razia Sultana, with the help of few of the nobles, with the help of few of the amirs, seized the throne of Delhi. And now basically it is said that both Firoz Shah and Shah Turkan were put to death by Razia Sultana. And Rukn-ud-din Firoz Shah was succeeded by Razia Sultana. Razia Sultana was the first lady ruler of Delhi Sultanate. She was the first lady ruler, basically, rather than saying of Delhi Sultanate, first Muslim lady ruler. Hope so the points are clear, my friends. Please let me know. See, the only way to remember all these names are just continuously keep on revising this. Okay? Yes, Dipesh. I will also tell about Yakut and Altunia. Yes. Yes, guys. Are the points clear? Okay. See, guys, I would be starting my session from the next week. Okay, guys. We'll continue from the next week itself. Any query, any question, any sort of doubt? I'll post the PDF in the Telegram channel. Thanks, Abhijit. Yes, Vaishali, a bit complicated, but don't worry. See, medieval India is full of terminologies, it is full of rulers. Okay, so please keep on revising the concept. We are going to see all the aspect in the form of a story. Okay, guys. So please keep on revising the concept, and soon I'm going to take a test on medieval India. Got the points clear? It is Unacademy underscore Alok Ojha. Okay. Yes, Monisha. Okay, guys. So if you like my lectures, please use my code AKOUS. I repeat the code AKOUS. Thank you and have a very nice day.